Shalom. This week's Sedra Shemos. We're starting a whole new sefer in the Torah. It's very exciting. This week I'd like to focus on Yaakov. Yaakov was an ordinary man and he just couldn't believe the treachery. He had taught his star student for 15 years and he had expected a measure of loyalty from someone he had invested so much into. Max had been in his intro to programming course, and that's how they first met. And he had excelled to the point where he was number one in Yaakov's master class after only a few years. Seeing Max's potential, Yaakov had invited Max to work at his company. Max had been given strict instructions. Nothing seen at the company could be talked about with anyone. Not only had Max broken that cardinal rule, he had talked to Yaakov's main competitors. Yaakov's top project, something that he worked on for years, was quickly taken from him and produced by his competitor. Having nowhere else to go, Yaakov headed down to the kotel. Sitting at the kotel, Yaakov wondered where it had gone all wrong. He picked up the Chumash and began flipping through it. He happened to land on this week's Sedra and was surprised to read of another act of treachery, that of the Jewish midwives against Paro. In this week's Sedra, Paro commanded the midwives to kill the Jewish male newborns. The midwives had ignored the command and had allowed the Jewish newborns to live, actually helping the mothers. When Paro found out that the midwives hadn't followed his orders, Paro quote-unquote summoned the midwives, and as Hashem recorded in the Torah, Paro said to them, "Why have you done this thing, that you have enabled the boys to live?" The midwives said to Paro, "Because the Jewish women are not like the Egyptian women, for they are as skilled as midwives themselves. When the midwife hasn't even arrived, they've already given birth." Rashi explains that our sages stated that the midwives told Paro that the Jewish women were like beasts who knew how to give birth on their own, and had the Jewish midwives tried anything different, especially killing the Jewish babies, the mothers would sense it and would stop using them. Yaakov found it odd that Paro would accept the midwives' answers. In fact, Paro should have been upset at the midwives for two reasons. First, they ignored Paro's command, and second, not only did the midwives disobey Paro, they undermined Paro by helping the Jewish women give birth. Yaakov saw how Paro reacted. He didn't punish the midwives. Instead, he found a different solution to killing the Jewish male newborns, that of instructing the Egyptian people themselves to do it. Yaakov understood two lessons from Paro's reaction. The first, there's a difference between disobeying and undermining, with the latter being much worse. The second, that when an underling undermines, the action reflects a level of disrespect that can't be corrected, and the employee needs to leave or be worked around. Yaakov knew that now that Max had undermined him, his relationship with Max was over. It's an interesting lesson for us to learn. Shabbat Shalom.